Hello everyone. Today we are going to be assembling our very own computer. These are the main components that we are going to use. An ASRock motherboard, AMD processor, 2 GB DDR3 RAM, 160 GB HDD hard drive by Western Digital, and an air cooler for the processor. I will be telling you about each component as we move on. So let's begin. First of all, the most integral part of the computer is its motherboard. All the hardware has been branched out on the motherboard. The processor, the RAM, the storage, the USB drives, everything is connected to the motherboard. The motherboard processes all these components and gives it to the CPU. As you might be seeing, motherboards come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Motherboards are differentiated on the basis of the processor socket type, the RAM support, the IOs that they have, and even on their size. A motherboard can range from the lowest end Intel LGA socket to the AMD TRX 40 socket type. For this build, we are going to use an ASRock motherboard with the PGA socket. So first, let us talk about the motherboard. This is the ASRock N68C GS-FX. It can support up to DDR3 memory and also supports DDR2 memory. It has 4 memory slots. This motherboard is specially designed for the AMD processors. It is quite obvious when we see the PGA socket. This motherboard has microphone in, line in and audio out IO. It has 4 USB 2.0, 1 Ethernet port, 2 VGA ports and 2 ports for the mouse and keyboard respectively. Now, let us talk about the processors. If you ask someone what is the most important part of a computer and what does all the processors in a computer, they would likely answer it's a processor. Processors too come in varieties of types. You can choose whatever processor you want depending on your budget and your needs. Processors can range from the lowest end Intel Celeron processors to the strongest AMD Ryzen Threadripper processors. As you might be knowing, there is a huge difference between the performance they can perform and also the price. For this build, we are going to be using an AMD Sempron processor. Now we have come on to the most important part of this build. We are going to install the processor onto the motherboard. Make sure that your processor layout fits with your motherboard layout. As we see, this motherboard has a PGA processor socket. So it's obvious that we are going to be using an AMD processor. The processor that I am using today is the AMD Sempron. This processor can also be called as a clone that AMD made for the Intel Celeron. It is obvious that this processor is low end and this is why it makes this processor exactly suitable for this build. First of all, unlock the socket. Now align the arrow on the processor with the arrow on the motherboard. Next, we are going to fit on the processor into the socket. Oh, This was an easy one. The processor must fit effortlessly. Remember that these parts are designed to fit precisely and do not apply any kind of pressure. You can give the processor a wobble or two to make sure that it has fit in its place. Next, lock on the processor. Now, our processor gets heated up while doing all the tasks that we put on its head. We need a solution for the cooling of the processor. Cooling too can range on your need and also your budget. Most of the Intel and AMD processors now come with their stock coolers. Intel has a different stock cooler and AMD also has a different stock cooler. If you want to give your processor a bit better cooling, or if you are overclocking your processor, it is ideal to invest in a much more better cooling measure. You can buy the premium stock coolers or can even go with liquid cooling your PCs. However, it is always better to air cool your processor, as liquid cooling can be a mite tweaky and also tough. For this video, we are going to use the AMD stock cooler that came with my processor. This is an old AMD stock cooler, and nowadays the stock coolers are much better. Now our processor needs cooling, and we are going to cool our processor with this stock cooler that was provided with it. My stock cooler already has thermal paste applied to it and also applied on the processor. This is a lock mechanism stock cooler, unlike the others. Most of the stock coolers would require you to fit a bracket on the motherboard. This bracket has already been fit onto the motherboard, and now I am going to install my cooler. After the stock cooler is in place, lock it on to the bracket. As you can see, the stock cooler is locked on. Next, this cooler needs some electrical power. So we are going to connect this electrical adapter onto the motherboard. Make sure that it's nicely connected and is also strong enough. Our motherboard has been successfully installed. Now we have to install the memory, also known as RAM, random access memory, onto the motherboard. The CPU cannot take raw information from the hard drive, and RAM acts as the moderator in between. RAM takes the information from the hard drive and processes it onto the CPU. RAMs too come in different sorts of sizes and shapes depending on your needs. The more RAM you have, the faster your computer will work, because the more amount of memory your processor can access at a single period of time. However, RAM speeds too matter, and with new evolving technologies such as DDR4, it's always better to go with the latest. However, in our build, we have used a DDR3 2GB RAM. It's always advisable to go with the most amount of memory you can go with in your budget. Let's see how to install the RAM. Now that the cooler has been installed, we are going to put the RAM onto the motherboard. First of all, decide which slot are you going to install your RAM on depending on the number of sticks you have. It will be given on the motherboard channel, motherboard manual. It might also be written on the motherboard itself, as in my case. Open these levers. Most of the motherboards today would like you to open one lever, but mine has to open two. Now match this socket with the one given onto the motherboard to be confirmed that you are installing it in the right direction. Push the stick down until the levers lock themselves and you hear a click sound. Now you might want to lock the RAM onto the lever. Our memory has been installed. We have been using a 2 GB DDR3 RAM. Now that our motherboard is complete, let's move on to the other components. The next step is to decide a case for your build. Cases to come in all sorts of flavors and textures. Buying a case mainly depends on what your needs are and what your budget is. However, I recommend you to spend less money on cases, as it's a waste of money to spend more on cases which do not help in the processing activity. Different cases have different features. Cases have most of the cases have inner modifications in them, which helps the user to mount the motherboard and the rest of the accessories in a beautiful looking manner and also in a simpler way. Every case has a front I/O, which depends on your needs. Most of the cases have a microphone jack, audio output, and also USBs on the front I/O. For our build, I'm going to be using the case that my computer came with. Now, we are going to assemble all the components inside the given case. As you might be able to see, this case is from my old computer and I have used it for this build. First of all, open the back cover and the front cover of the case using any screwdriver. Now that our motherboard has been successfully installed onto the case, we are going to put all the power cables and the respective SATA cables onto the ports. For this, first of all, you need to install the power supply. In my case, it has already been installed. Later on, put all the respective cables onto the port. We are first going to put on the cable which is used to power the processor onto its designated port. Push the cable until you hear a click sound, which means the ports have been successfully locked. Next on, we are going to install the main power cable for the motherboard onto the motherboard. This is one of the largest cables and is easily identifiable. Now the cables have been installed onto the motherboard. Now let's move on to storage installation. We are currently using a Western Digital 160 GB HDD hard drive, which we are going to assemble and connect to the case. First of all, find a slot on your case where you can mount on your hard drive onto. As we have been seeing, we are going to mount our hard drive onto HDD 2. Now that our HDD has been mounted onto the motherboard, onto the case, let's secure it with some screws. Let's power up our HDD and also connect it to the motherboard via a SATA cable. Now the power port for all the HDDs and SSDs looks a bit like this. Push it onto the motherboard. Next on SATA cable installation. Now as you might be seeing, this is the SATA cable we are going to use the storage of the HDD. Find the SATA port on the motherboard. Now that the SATA cable has been logged onto the SATA port, you might even like to lock it on the hard drive. Alright, now as you might be seeing, we have installed a CD reader onto the front of the case, and this reader has to be powered and connected onto the motherboard. The power cable has already been connected to the CD reader, and now let's connect this CD reader to the motherboard using this ribbon like cable. This blue port you are seeing here is going to be used for connecting the CD. Whoa. Alright, our computer is complete. You might take your time later for cable management, but I'm interested in none. Let's cover this cape up and start this machine. So now we have connected our computer to the power using our power supply cable and also to the UPS. As you might be seeing, the UPS is on. Let's boot our computer and check whether it boots. This computer is automatically going to boot onto Windows 7 as it was already installed on the hard disk. I don't know why, but I'm feeling quite nervous right now. Alright, so our computer has booted up and it's 100% that this build was success. In fact, this was my first build and I was quite nervous before it. I thought this was the best time to do this build as this computer was extremely old and I did not care if it lasted or what after switching it on. Thank you for watching this video. Hope that you would have liked it.